So, in case anyone was not aware, one of the central themes of times of Mashiach is that the Beis HaMikdash is going to be rebuilt. In case you didn't know, now you know. So, there's a famous question on who's going to build the Beis HaMikdash. The Rebbe wanted us to think at this time during the 3 weeks, and even more so in the 9 days, about the Beis HaMikdash, to learn the halachas, learn the inyanim. So one of the famous questions about the Beis HaMikdash is who's going to build it, right? There's a famous question. There's one opinion, according to the Rambam, says who's going to build the Beis HaMikdash? We're going to build it. Specifically, the Mashiach is really going to build it, but mainly it's going to be accomplished through through us, yeah, through human effort. The second opinion is going according to Rashi and Zer and I'm sure others that the Beis HaMikdash is basically already built and already ready in Shemayim, and all it has to do is descend and become revealed. And that's all we're waiting for. We really have no part in it. We bring it, we prepare for it, but we have no part in the building of it. So there's a famous question in Torah, and which way is it? It's a big question. It's going to make a big difference when Mashiach comes. Well, what's going to be the Seder Inyanim? So the Rebbe brings in different sichas a few different ways of resolving this question. Either is it going one way, is it going the other way, or is it somehow both? So there's a few different resolutions that Rebbe brings. The first one, already there's a historical fact which seems to support the opinion of Rambam. What's this fact? In the Gemara brings it, in times of Yeshua ben Hananiah, what happened? The Romans granted the Jews permission to go back and to build the Beis HaMikdash again. Right after it had been destroyed, they said, we're allowing you now to rebuild it. And what happened? They came and they tried. Right? They got very excited. Now we get to build a Beis HaMikdash. Unfortunately, what happened to the Samaritans, who weren't so friendly with the Jewish people, stopped them from doing it. Okay, so unfortunately it wasn't built. But we see from the story the very fact that the Jews accepted the possibility that they were going to build it. And not only that, they were excited about it. So it seems to be that's the way the Beis HaMikdash is going to come through us building it. That's what the implication from that story is. So that seems to support the Rambam. However, the Rebbe says that this can also be reconciled with Rashi. So how is this? So we know there's another famous seeming contradiction in Torah. It says that how's Mashiach going to come? Mashiach is going to come either like a man on a cloud, right? Or it says in another pasuk it says he's going to come like a poor man on riding on a donkey. So similar question, right? Is he going to come on the cloud? Is he going to miraculously? Is he going to come on a donkey like a regular person? So, someone explained what's the how do we resolve that contradiction? Simple. If the Jews are found worthy for Mashiach to come, then he's going to come in a miraculous way, like on a cloud. If not, then he's still going to come. Obviously, Chas Hashem, that he won't come, but he's going to come in a more b'derech hateva way, according to nature. He's going to come like a regular person on a donkey, right? So the same thing can be applied to the Beis HaMikdash. And as it relates to this story, the Beis HaMikdash, if we're found worthy, so the Beis HaMikdash is going to come in a miraculous way, like from Shemayim. If we're not found worthy, then Chas V'Shalom that it's not going to come. Of course, it's going to come, but we're going to be the ones who are going to build it, b'derech hateva, according to nature. So this logic can be applied to the story. So the Jews were offered the opportunity from the Romans to build the Beis HaMikdash. So they saw that they weren't being found worthy of having the Beis HaMikdash come L'mayla from above, but they accepted that, and they then went with the other option of building it themselves, because they understood that's how things are going to work now. We're not worthy, so we have to build it through our own hands. So that can go according to Rashi, who says it's going to come from Shemayim, but we can explain that if they're not worthy, it'll come the other way. So that's one way of resolving this. Another way of resolving this is based on what the Rambam explains about the second and third Beis HaMikdash. Also in Mishnah Torah, at the beginning of Hilchos Beis Bechira, the laws of the Beis HaMikdash, he says in regards to the first Beis HaMikdash, right, built by Shlomo Melech, everything about that Beis HaMikdash, the structure and everything, is already explained in Tanakh in Sefer Malachim, the Book of Kings. It's explained very explicitly. What about the third Beis HaMikdash? It's going to be built hopefully very soon. It's explained in Sefer Yechezkel, right? In the prophecy of Yechezkel. But he says, the way he says it, it's very mysterious. Some parts are explained are very explicit, and he gives the details so we can understand them. Some parts are a little above us, and it's very hard to understand what he's saying. So, how did they build the second Beis HaMikdash? they based it on the structure of the first, built by Shlomo Melech, but they incorporated parts of what they could understand from the prophecy of Yechezkel, right? So we can apply that logic also to the Beis HaMikdash. What's going to happen? We're going to build the Beis HaMikdash in a way that anything we can understand from Yechezkel's prophecy, we're going to take those instructions, the parts which are understandable by our intellect, and we're going to build that. We're going to build that part. We can understand that part of the blueprint, so we're going to do that. However, the parts which are a little above us, which are a little concealed from our understanding, after we finish building the part which we can understand, then that's going to descend from heaven. Okay, it's the second way. It's the second way of resolving this. The third way we can resolve this, it's in a similar derech about in regard to the gates of the Beis HaMikdash. What happened when the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed? So there's a difference between the gates of the Beis HaMikdash and all the rest of it. The gates of the Beis HaMikdash were built explicitly on the command of David HaMelech, and for whatever reason, that command endowed the gates of the Beis HaMikdash with a permanency. They were never destroyed. What happened to them? Something explained based on a verse in Eicha. It says, "Her gates sank in the earth." So what does that tell us? When the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, the gates weren't destroyed. They were covered up by the earth. They sank into the ground. Right? So I guess we would say to this day they still exist. So how can we apply this to the times of Mashiach when the Beis HaMikdash is going to be rebuilt? What's going to happen? So we can say that the Beis HaMikdash is going to descend from heaven, except for these gates. Why? Because they're still here. So these gates, the Beis HaMikdash, everything except the gates are going to descend from heaven, Milamayla, and away Lamayla Minatava. The gates are going to arise from the ground, and what's Mashiach going to do, right? In other words, what's our part? Mashiach is going to come and connect the gates to the rest of the structure. And the Chachamim explain elsewhere that connecting a gate to the rest of the structure is considered like building the entire thing. Okay, so that's another way of resolving the question of, is it coming from heaven or is it coming from us? So the main thrust of all these resolutions is basically that we ourselves are meant to do everything which is in our capability within the power of a human being to build a Beis HaMikdash. Begashmius, right? That's our part, and we're meant to do that. Hashem basically takes care of the rest, right? The part that we can't accomplish, Hashem, in response to our efforts, Hashem, sort of finishes the job. So this is the whole idea of the Beis HaMikdash. This is what's going to happen when Mashiach comes. This is the Seder, that we do everything in our power to prepare the structure, to make the binyan, to make Hashem's house, so to speak. But Hashem, what can't we do? We can't actually endow that Beis HaMikdash, that structure, that house, with the essence of the Beis HaMikdash, with Elikus, with revealed godliness. We're able to build the structure. So what does the Rebbe say? That we have to do everything which is in our power, but derech hatava, and I don't know, maybe even higher than tava if it's possible, but anything which we're able to accomplish to build the Beis HaMikdash. And once we've accomplished everything we possibly can, we leave no stone unturned from our efforts to bring the Beis HaMikdash, then Hashem will respond to us and say, now you've done everything you can, you've done everything I wanted and everything I expected, now I'm going to bring myself down to the Beis HaMikdash and fulfill the purpose. What's the Beis HaMikdash? It's a mishkan, it's a dwelling place for Hashem. So I'm going to bring myself down. After you've built it, I'm going to come into it. So Hashem, this will happen very, very soon in times of Mashiach, that we'll finish building the structure and Hashem will come down and reveal himself inside. Amen.
Looks like I can't be over here, Daniel White's great